second floor, living room furniture, terrace furniture, kitchen appliances. Wife. Home.
Home. What a beautiful word. April, I can't believe you... We live here.
Well, do you think you can get used to it?
I hope so. But then again, I guess all this goes with your new status as rich lady, huh?
Draper, Margot left her money to the Scotts, not just to me. I hope you can get used to that, too.
I guess it'll just take me a little time.
Do you mind living here? I just really didn't think you'd want to go back to the house in Oakdale.
I was living in Oakdale.
Draper, that is a fact that I am very well aware of, and precisely the reason why I cannot go back to Oakdale. You really got to understand that it's very difficult for me to accept the fact that you were living there in our house as somebody else with another wife.
No. Emily was never my wife.
She thought she was. She wanted to be. I mean, isn't that what's important? It's more important than the license or signature.
April, there is only one woman in my life. And you're the only woman I'll ever love.
You're wrong. There are two women. And I want you to stay right here. I don't want you to move, okay? Be right back.
Look at her. April, she's all grown up.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Maybe about 6 months older than she was the last time you saw her, huh? She doesn't talk too much, but now I can think of a word she'll really enjoy learning. Daddy. Here. No. Okay.
Hey.
Okay, that's your daddy.
She looks just like you.
She used to be the spitting image of you. Doesn't matter who she looks like. How do you think we did, huh?
Oh, I think she's absolutely perfect.
Come to me. Oh, I better take her. You know, everybody tells me that, but it's nice to get a very unbiased opinion once in a while. I think we better be nice.
Okay. You know, I know that babies get bigger and they change, but
oh, and they get changed too. I never realized how much these little human beings, how much time and how much they demanded. Oh, it seems like every time you turn around, they want something else. I've been very grateful for Molly's help.
Molly. That's right. She works here now, doesn't she?
Draper, does that bother you? I mean, does it remind you too much of what's happened to you recently? Draper, keep in mind that Molly is very much alone right now, especially after what's happened to Emily. Yeah. You know what happened to her.
Yeah. She had some sort of breakdown, but I thought that you and I would go over and find out more about that together.
I'd like that. I think we should both do as much for Emily as we can.
What about Molly? What are you going to do about her?
Well, I've asked Molly to stay. Draper, she was all packed up and ready to go. She didn't think I'd want her here after everything that's happened, but I told her I don't blame her. That it's not her fault any more than it is Emily's were her father's.
Is she good with Julia?
She's wonderful with Julia. She loves Julia a lot, and Julia likes her. I'll tell you, very selfishly speaking, I don't think we could get a better nursemaid for Julia or a better housekeeper for us.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but I did know you were home, and I wanted to say how happy I am that you're up and about, Mr. Scott.
I imagine it's going to be difficult for you to call me Mr. Scott after thinking of me as Kirk.
Yes, it is difficult to adjust to all the new things.
Molly, we were just talking about you.
Were you?
Yes, I was telling Draper that you've agreed to stay. And I think Draper's as happy about it as I am.
Are you very sure, Mr. Scott? I really don't want to make your homecoming difficult.
April said that having you here will make things a great deal easier for us.
Yes, well, I do want to stay. I feel so very close to both of you. Of course. And I don't want to leave Monticello, not as long as Emily is still here.
Well, April and I talked it over, and we'll do as much as we can for Emily. But hopefully this will only be a temporary thing.
Oh, no, Mr. Scott, I don't think what's happened to Emily is going to go away, just like a bad cold. She needs a great deal of help for a long time, and since she has no family...
Molly, Emily may not have any family, but she does have friends, and we are going to do all we can for Emily.
Hello, I'm surprised you're still here. I thought you'd be at the studio.
I had a late start. I was visiting with Nadine at the hospital.
Again? Oh, you two really have reconciled, haven't you?
Yes, thank heavens.
You didn't tell me how you did it.
Well, the truth is, I had to force that reconciliation. And I did it, practically, over Raven's dead body.
Raven was there?
Oh, yes.
Must have been quite a confrontation. How'd she react?
Guilty. That is my verdict. There isn't any question but what she had everything to do with Nadine's sudden aversion to me. And that she convinced Nadine that I was an irrepressible gossip.
Why do you think she did that? Not just native nastiness, was it?
Well, that accounts for much of her behavior, doesn't it?
Well, there's usually more to her actions than that. Her motives tend to be ulterior.
Oh, yeah. There's certainly some truth in that. The thing is, Nadine and I couldn't figure out just exactly what she had in mind. I think she wanted to get back in Nadine's good graces in order to reinstate herself in Nadine's will. But if that was her hope, she's wrong.
Well, I'm glad you did what you did. It'd be a shame for Nadine to go back to London with a broken friendship. I assume she is going back to London.
Yes, as soon as she finds out what's wrong with her.
Well, I hate to run off, but I just dropped by here to leave that, so...
You're going out this evening?
Yeah, April and Draper invited me over for a while.
I see.
I told them it's their first night home together. They ought to spend it by themselves, but Draper practically insisted, so...
And you're not too keen on it, eh?
Little uncomfortable. I guess I'll get over that, though.
Logan, I assume that Draper is unaware of how you came to feel about his wife in his absence.
Doesn't know anything about it. No reason why he should. Hope he never does. No sense in losing two friends, is there?
You're quite right.
Good night. I'll see you later.
All I want to know is when I can leave.
Oh, I think you can break out of here in the morning.
This evening would even be better.
I don't think another night in that bed will be a hardship, will it?
No, you're right. I'd much rather spend the evening here than at Raven's. Hello? Oh, yes, operator, thank you. It's London.
Well, I'll leave you in peace.
Yes, Mr. Peabody. What have you found out? She did. Yes. Yes. I should have known. And what have you done about the young man? Serves him right. And now I must find a suitable punishment for my daughter.
Mrs. Swift, I can't stay.
Mrs. Wong, please, just for a couple of hours. I know you've been here all day, but Jaimie isn't really that difficult to take care of.
I teach a class at the Washington School for New Mothers. My class begins promptly at 8.
Please, will you just do this one thing for me? I mean, what do I pay you for?
To take care of your son, I thought. Not to be a babysitter.
Well, if you ask me, this job does not entail much more than that.
Well, in that case, perhaps you'd be better off hiring a sitter.
Sure be a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yes, and it might give you the incentive to spend more time with your child.
I spend all the time with Jaimie that he needs.
Then you must think he doesn't need a mother at all.
How dare you speak to me like that? You are my employee.
No, Mrs. Swift. As of this moment, I am your ex-employee. You have my address. You can send my last paycheck there. Good night.
You can't just walk out on me like this.
You have a very lovely little boy, Mrs. Swift. But I hope you have noticed that he is still very little.
Damn! What am I gonna do? I have to go see her. Okay. Here we go. Mrs. Goodman, you better be home. Come on, come on. She probably went out and bought a telescope and is spying on the neighbors. What am I gonna do? Gloria won't come anymore. Mrs. Cross is probably still drunk. Better call Mother. Find out what Geraldine told her. This ought to be good.
Hello?
Hello, Mother. This is Raven. Look, I don't care what you say. I'm going to come over tonight, whether you want to see me or not.
Oh, I'd like very much to see you, Raven. When will you be here?
Oh. Well, I have to find a babysitter because I told Mrs. Wong that she could have the night off to teach, but I'll find one. I'll be right over, okay?
Oh, that's good. Because I really would like to talk to you, Raven, about a financial matter.
Scott residence? Well, yes, she is. May I tell her who's calling? Thank you. Mrs. Scott, it's for you.
Who is it?
Mrs. Swift. She sounded desperate to talk to you.
Mrs. Swift is always desperate about something. Thank you. I'll take it. Hello.
April, I need your help. I need a babysitter. I have to go to the hospital right now.
Is it that important?
Yes, it is. Mother is there. She's all alone. She hates hospitals. Her condition's worse, and I have to go.
Raven, I don't know. I guess I could ask Molly if she wouldn't mind going.
Molly, that's your housekeeper? Yeah. April, would you do that for me?
Raven, I wouldn't do a thing for you, but I might do something to help your mother.
Oh, well, aren't you an angel? Look, why don't you send her right over? I'll only be gone about 4 or 5 hours.
That's an awfully long hospital visit.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Look, I have to go get ready. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot. Oh, boy. Okay. Yes, Mr. Dorn, please. Elliot, it's Raven. I'm going to be over in a little while. I got to go to the hospital and visit Mother for about an hour, but I'll be there, and I think that I have some terrific news.
Anemia can be caused by a number of heredity factors. Can be the result of exposure to some chemical or perhaps some antibiotic.
Well, I haven't had anything, though.
It might be nutritional, for that matter. You might simply need more vitamin B12.
Do you think that this might have any connection to the fact that I can't seem to have a baby?
I won't even guess at that answer.
Then it still might be possible that I'm not getting pregnant for some psychosomatic reason, huh?
That would be one of the last possibilities we'd consider, especially in such a level-headed young woman.
But I'm not level-headed about some things. If you knew how much I want to have this baby. Started out as a hope and progressed to a need, and I'm rapidly making it an obsession.
Well, relax. When we get all the test results, I'll send you to that baby specialist I told you about. Until then, please, don't worry. Worry doesn't help.
Welcome home. Well, it's very flattering of you two to have me here the first evening you have a chance to be alone together. Sure wasn't necessary, though.
Look, it's our pleasure. I mean,
thank you.
There's nobody else we'd rather have here. I just wanted to take some time to say thank you. I mean, not for what you did for me, but what you did for April.
I mean, Logan, you were one of the first people to think that Draper might still be alive.
No. Mike spotted that discrepancy with the handcuffs. Oh, by the way, April told me what happened during the wreck. It's funny, I always had a suspicion that it was Sam Dwyer that turned you loose.
Sam Dwyer. Never going to forget him. A lot of people I'm never going to forget. I hope. I hope I have no more problems with my memory.
Oh, you won't have a memory problem. It was more than a head injury that made you forget all that stuff. It was everything you were up against, everything you had to face.
What I had to face was 15 years without my wife, without my baby, without my best friend.
If I'm going to make some coffee. Yeah, and I bought a cake of this gooey, fattening chocolate. I'm playing maid tonight because I'll be right back.
I mean that, Swifty. Honest, I owe you more than I could ever repay.
Oh, come on, I didn't do a damn thing. It was Deborah and Calvin that got you out of that amusement park mess. They're the ones you should thank.
I mean, thank you for not what you did for me, but for what you did for April.
Well, I did what I could. It wasn't very much. She was pretty broken-hearted. Spent a lot of time grieving for you. It would have done your heart good to see how many people were dewy-eyed at your funeral.
She told me, Logan. She said she couldn't have come through this thing the way she did without your help.
Nonsense. She helped me get through it. I was all broken up when I thought you were in that coffin. Kept thinking about the $12 you owe me. The $12? Oh, yeah, the amnesia. You don't remember.
All right, look, I know you don't like sentiment, Swifty. So I just let it drop there, but I want you to know that it all adds up to one word. Thanks.
Oh, sure. Anytime.
Hello, Mother. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm fine.
Good. Did you see Dr. Stewart?
Yes, I did. He had good news for me. I'll be leaving the hospital tomorrow morning.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'll come by tomorrow, pick you up in the car, and we can go home.
No, thank you. I've arranged a rental car.
You did?
Yes, I find that I'm going to be in Monticello for at least a week, so I decided to have a car of my own. I've also made a reservation at the Monticello Arms.
It's Geraldine's hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Did she make the reservations for you?
Yes. Yes, she did.
So, you've fallen for her excuses, and now you're friends again? Don't say I didn't warn you. Anyway, you said you had something to discuss with me, something financial?
Oh, yes. I had a very interesting phone conversation this evening with Mr. Peabody, one of my solicitors in London. You know Mr. Peabody, Raven?
No, why should I know Mr. Peabody?
Well, I thought, since you did know Mr. Temple...
Temple? Who's Mr. Temple?
Oh, surely you remember, Raven. A pink-cheeked young man with sandy hair, just a wee bit on the plump side.
I've never met him before. Why should I know him?
Well, that's strange. Since Mr. Temple admitted to Mr. Peabody that you had lunch with him more than once, and that he violated a confidence as a result.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I might have met him at a party sometime,
Raven,
but...
Mr. Temple has been fired. Now, does that make you feel good? It's the price he paid for revealing to you the contents of my will. My new will. The one in which I left my entire fortune to your son.
You left it to Jaimie? Mother, that's very kind of you.
Now I know why you were so kind to Jaimie. Why you were so concerned about taking him away from his father, and so determined to win the custodies.
Mother, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that is all going to be changed, Raven. Because when I get back to London, I am going to change my will. I'll make sure that you don't get 1 penny of my money, whether Jaimie inherits it or not. Now, do you still want custody?
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find. Always on my mind. And frustrated days pass without sight. The edge of night, half dark, half light. Do you think we might wake up someday and be aware of all the games people play? Living, sir,